I was adamant. The people, they were walking around in Ghostbusters Frozen Empire sweaters and hats, beanies, handing out Cheetos, and I was like, when are you going to be handing out more Cheetos? I need some of them Cheetos. Lady came and found me and had some saved. Solid.
That's awesome.
Don't shut it off. I'm warning you.
Welcome to Strange Glow Videos. Well, that's what I heard.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your team?
Hosted by Alec, Justin, and Nick.
Well, that's what I heard.
Hey, welcome back to Strange Glow Video. My name is Justin. With me is my esteemed colleague, extraordinary human being, and co-host of the show, Alec. How are you doing tonight?
I'm a little tired. I'm a little food pregnant. I just had some Taco Bell. And while I was getting set up, I was wobbling around here like fucking Danny DeVito penguin, just feeling like shit. I'm sure I was drooling just as much. It was gnarly. I was feeling gnarly. And then I burped myself. You know, gave yourself one of these.
Yeah.
Oh. And then you get to burp from that. And then I smoked a blunt, and I'm feeling like I can do a podcast now.
Good. You have a little more energy than you have lately, so no migraine tonight?
No, surprisingly.
Good. Well, when you're talking about Danny DeVito, you kind of remind me of a role model thing, so I think you need your mayor button.
Yeah,
Cobblepot
thanks
for
to
mayor.
the GB containment unit guys.
Yep, they had some awesome stuff. So what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of recap our trip to the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire premiere. We're going to kind of have a loose conversation about it, but we'll talk about a few things we got, show off a few goodies up front.
Yeah, well, hold on. Yeah, I want to show off what I got today because it's not premiere-y, but so Justin got me 2 of the new Ghostbusters Fright Features figures for my birthday this year, and I wasn't concerned about trying to buy them, but once I had 2 out of the 4, it was like, well, I'm going to try to get the other 2 as well. And at the YHS unlicensed nuclear premiere party, Hasbro was there passing out some toy bags. And I got one of those. And we'll talk about that a little later, but I got a Trevor out of that and a Callie. So today I went and was like, all right, I just got to get a Gary. So I got myself a Gary today.
Very nice. Now, there are people that believe that Gary figure looks more like Eric from Ghost Corps than Mr. Paul Rudd.
That's hilarious.
I've had several people say that. There's a few people that are like, why don't you see if Eric will autograph that? And I'm like, I bet he would. Bet he would. You know what what else did you get today?
So this, I saw somebody post about finding this in Walmart like a week or 2 ago. Today I went to see if I could go find it while I was there getting that action figure. And I did. And honestly, it's a solid pickup with just plenty of awesome photos and coverage of everything in the Ghostbusters history. Most of these actors have a little page, like there's Coneheads and Blues Brothers on Dan's. It goes and talks about the video games, has stuff about all the comics, including the new comics coming out from Dark Horse.
Yeah, those come out the 26th or 27th, I think. So, yeah, that's going to be exciting to go get those. I've got mine pre-ordered at Elite Comics in Overland Park.
So go pick yourself one of these up there in Walmart in the entertainment section, in that back magazine section near the books.
Hopefully they're in Walmarts. I checked one Walmart today and no luck. I was disappointed.
Well, you come by this one over here, so.
Yeah, but I'll show you what I did get in the mail today, because this is supposed to be delivered Friday, and then for a few days it just said in transit, like in town locally, and I'm like, great, did these guys lose it? Because I was getting a little concerned. But it's the Regal Cinemas Firehouse popcorn bucket. This thing is beautiful.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice piece. I like that.
So, I think for me, the fact that this is almost in scale with like the Hot Wheels cars, you could take some good photos with the Hot Wheels with this, I think, and kind of get an accurate picture. Or maybe the Jada scale. I'll try both to see what looks good with it. But I mean, even the lid on this thing is dope. I mean, and it's marked up all around. The only thing I don't like about this, and this is a very minor gripe, is the Slimer art that's in the front window is like a Slimer art that's been used for like the past at least 15 to 20 years now, I think. Ever since the video game, at least.
It's almost funny when they use that shit, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I get that it's licensor approved and everything like that, so they don't have to get approval when they use that, but you would figure with a new rendering of Slimer, because that's kind of like a cross between Ghostbusters 1 and Ghostbusters 2 Slimer.
Well, here, that reminds me, it's like movie theater stuff is, you know, it has to go through approval and stuff still, but this is a complete fan guide. So I wonder if they even had to get approval to do this other than licensing and stuff. I don't know. Because some of it I was reading through, I was like, this doesn't seem accurate. It was literally saying like, Jason Reitman says Vigo's coming back in the future and shit like that. And I was like, I don't think he said that.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And then there was a part where it referred to Garaka as Death Chill. Like that was his name. I was like, okay, you're talking a little out of your ass there. Like maybe assuming too much. You know what happens when you assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with some of that, they may have just paid to license the photos, you know, and just did the rest on their own, which is, you know, whatever. That's fine.
It's still an interesting piece. But,
yeah,
you know.
No, I totally understand that. So, and then,
so you want to talk about what do you got there?
Well, we picked up a lot of swag. I posted a picture of it on the Instagram, but
yeah, I wasn't going to try to go through it all because god damn, I was looking through it again like before we were doing this.
No, I got a list of shout outs that I'll like kind of cover when we wrap the episode up, just to kind of.
Why don't we do it early on, because this is when people are listening and tuning in.
Well, here's some shout outs and mentions, right? In no particular order. There's a ton of people that we ran into.
I'm going to jump in at the end if I recall that you missed any too. So
if I miss any, or if I missed you, I sincerely apologize. But I tried to compile a pretty good list earlier. I printed it off before I came up here to record. And so Abby, Craig, and Jacob of Yes Have Some podcast, obviously they put together a great party. They coordinated a lot of this for everybody. So really appreciate what they did. Obviously, AJ Quick and GB Fans, you know, he runs the GB Fans website. You know, he kind of partnered up with YHS on that. Obviously, he's a pillar in the community, has been for years. Philip Clark of the Tennessee Ghostbusters, he gave me the heads up on the red jacket that I've got, and he was an all-around cool dude when we met him, so excited to see that. Ecto Tech in the Ecto 1 New Jersey. We had some good conversations with the Ecto Tech and Ecto 1 New Jersey, so like it was great seeing those folks.
Yeah, it was good to meet them. We've been following Ecto Tech's work for a while now, so it's pretty cool.
He's tied in directly with Kip, aka Let's Run Some Red Lights here in town. So really, it was just nice to have that connection and know people. Like at this time on this trip, it really felt like we knew a ton of people that we didn't know last time and just had like natural conversations with them. It was just like great to run into people and be like, oh yeah, I recognize you, or they kind of recognized us, knew who we were. Tony Taylor and Phantasm Toys. Got to do a shout out here, man. This 2024 New York premiere Firehouse, Frozen Over Firehouse thing is just absolutely beautiful. I mean, you can't get more exciting than that. The front of it says, you know, YHS Phantasm Toys. Sorry, that's the rear of the Firehouse. But this thing is a beautiful, beautiful piece. So happy to have that in the collection.
Yep.
Jim, a.k.a. Extraplasm Podcast. You know, Jim's an all-around good dude. We caught up with him in person. Didn't get a chat with him as much as I would have liked, but when there's so many of us there, it's like everybody wants to have those conversations. So trying to spend a few minutes with everybody was challenging, and spending enough time with everyone was tough. Huge shout out to Jason Grahowski, huge in the YHS community, professional photographer. Like, he took so many photos of the YHS party. That was awesome. He's starting to share those now. Like, he hung out with us in the fan pen and is like just an all-around solid dude to hang out with. Really happy we got some time with him. Charles Fincher, the Ghost Beacon, Andrew Bayless, Jeff Wisnant, Dan Harshman, Matt Provencall, Simon Gray, obviously Megan and Jacob Clevenger, who traveled with us. So happy that they got to go along. The German Ghostbusters, Dave and Tommy, they're around and being so excellent. We met Matt Sanders and Tom Henry from the containment unit. Obviously, John Yerkeba, Eric Christensen and the Moogly fan club. Like, that's a solid dude there. JD Raymer, Rust City Studios, and the Central Oklahoma Ghostbusters made that excellent Hukies sticker that's like their play on the Buc-ee's logo, which I thought was a classic. And they've got a t-shirt of that up now if you're interested. Jason Fitzsimmons of Ghostbusters News. Like, we ran into him. It was really nice catching up, just saying hi. You know, he's out there putting the news on the daily. You know, he's on the beat.
Yep.
Chris Sorrentino of the Real Ghostbusters. Hell of a guy, man. Like, we ran into him. You know, you recognize him. He's a great Belushi impersonator. And then we ran into the Shrek family. Obviously, Jeff Shrek, his wife and son. They were all there. The Bama Geeks, Brock and Jessica Parker. Aiden, the diabetic Ghostbuster. He's actually part of the Missouri Ghostbusters. Actually lives in Joplin, so not too far from us. So kind of a regional guy. Pretty cool to see him there. Dirt Farmer Industries, the Detroit Ghostbusters. Eric Wright of Ghost Corps, and Sony Pictures. Obviously, you know, they put this whole thing together for the fans. Hard to...
Is that it? Is that your list?
And the interdimensional cross rip.
All right. Well, I just want to. I mean, I gotta do it to you, but John, your cable ain't on that list, buddy.
Yeah, he was.
I didn't hear him.
Yeah, he was up early on the list because I even made a note to put the 4th on there.
I don't know. I don't know if you said it then.
I think you're over listening to me, but I mean, obviously, I've got his print over there in the room right now.
Let me think. I'm trying to recall here. Is there anybody else? I don't know if you listed the containment unit guys.
I did.
Matt and Tom.
Sure did. I sure did.
You did. You just it was too brief. Who else? Shit. No, I know there's at least like one or two others, you know, that had to have slipped by you.
I had a pretty good list here. I kind of went through pretty thoroughly, but that's, like I said, that's not all encompassing. That's kind of like what I threw together here tonight, just kind of going through, thinking of everything, interactions we've had. So,
yeah. Maybe just the guys at the Firehouse. Official Ghostbusters HQ is at there.
Yep. I mean, they're awesome to host everybody and be gracious hosts and let us all kind of come running around and enjoy the place.
Sick shirts.
Yep, those are beautiful. Yeah, if you look behind me, you can maybe see the rest of the shirt. I have it kind of
some of the back of it.
And then, you know, obviously all the promotional tie-ins, right? AMC theaters, right? We got the icy cups from AMC, which is pretty cool. Exclusively in theaters, the 16-ounce cup. Those are fun to have. It's got the Slimer art on there, and I'm really digging this Slimer art. Like, I wish that Slimer was on the popcorn bucket.
Yeah, it's a good one. I collect cups and stuff in general, so I have like literally just sitting here. There's an old Pizza Hut cup right here, but I have a Nope color changing icy cup. And of course the Cheetos, yes, which I was adamant. The people, they were walking around in Ghostbusters Frozen Empire sweaters and hats, beanies, handing out Cheetos. And like, I was like, when are you going to be handing out more Cheetos? I need some of them Cheetos. Lady came and found me and had some saved. Solid.
That's awesome. And then I picked up the last one that they saw there. I don't know if they had more in the back or, you know, I'm sure they had some saved for the movie release, but picked up the old Ghost Trap popcorn bucket, which this is a really nice piece. The thing I like about this is that the little square on top just reminds me of the Playmobil Ghostbusters Ghost Traps that they did for the Ghostbusters 2 figures. And then this has a light up LED bar in it.
Nice.
So
I got
pretty happy with the two I got. You got that.
I just thought it was, I have traps and stuff. I just didn't need another trap, but this was sick. I just like how big it is, and it's two-faced, literally. So it has the angry face on the back, or they can do the happy face.
Mm-hmm.
The straw is like a rubber bendable straw. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we had so much cool swag, but if you want to see it all, just go to our Instagram because, like, I shared my stuff. I think you shared your stuff. Like, there's just so much of it.
Yeah, I got like 3 times as much shit as last time. It was crazy.
Yeah, I've got a ton of stuff, and I'm like, man, this is like sorting through all this and then
It's like
having
Ghostbusters Christmas.
It was, yes. Which makes up for Christmas this year because I didn't really hardly get any Ghostbusters things. So, I'm considering that making up for lost time. And you can't forget this beautiful challenge coin, right? So GB fans and YHS work together to team up to get this to us. Beautiful challenge coin goes well with the last challenge coin they did for the last premiere.
For sure.
Oh man, I just feel so good about everything we got and just on this hype train of like all the people we got to talk to this time and just that we've been communicating with over the past few years, even since Afterlife. It was just incredible to like chat with everybody, have people come up and recognize us and, give us take a minute out of their day to say hi to us. Right. We did that to plenty of people, but it's nice to have people do that for you too. So.
Absolutely. I was surprised some people knew us at all.
Yeah. And I mean, me too. Like, we're kind of the class clowns of the podcasting group because we're pretty well unhinged at times.
And we're not exclusively Ghostbusters. We kind of become exclusively Ghostbusters when Ghostbusters shit is going down, but
Yeah, we got a lot of other stuff to cover this year. Obviously, between now and Ghostbusters Day, we'll have plenty of stuff to go over. And then we got Twisters coming out this year, so expect coverage of that.
I want to try to do a late night with the Devil review if we can too. That'd be nice.
Yeah, we need to try to squeeze that in here, so it's going to happen.
I might have to like do one of those movie hopping days after Ghostbusters. Try to sneak into a late night with the Devil showing, and then maybe another Ghostbusters after.
Yeah, that was only at a handful of theaters here in town too. So like that was a limited opening, and since the star actually is from Kansas City.
Now I feel bad movie hopping because I want these movies to be successful, so I'd have to buy tickets for them all. Damn it.
Yeah. Yep. But
shit.
Damien is a Kansas City native, so that's a movie he did. So that's, I believe, why it's got a Kansas City release early on too, just to have the support here in town. So I'm excited to see that movie. Like when you showed me the trailer for that, I was like, how have I not heard about this? It looks amazing though.
Wait a second. Did you say Damien?
Yeah, or how do you say his first name there? I don't have it in front of me.
David.
Oh,
it's the name of
his last name is you were cutting out real bad. Your internet must have turned to shit.
Yeah.
You're back now. You cut out.
Your internet turned to shit.
I'm on. Okay. Yeah, so I was combining the first name and the last name, and I didn't know how to say the last name, and I didn't want to butcher it. So, fair enough.
I've always liked that guy anyway. And the first time I think I saw him really was Dark Knight, and he's in a small but effective role in that.
Yeah, no, he's a great actor. Friend of Paul Rudd too. In the Ant-Man movies, he's in those. So, seeing him branch out and do some other stuff is pretty awesome. I'm really excited about that movie. But we'll have to circle back.
He was like the best character in the second Suicide Squad movie as well, the polka dot suit guy or whatever.
Yep.
And then he was in the Belko Experiment as well that James Gunn wrote.
Yeah.
Fun dude.
He's been in some good stuff. So, do we want to run down this trip? Like, how do we want to cover it? What do you want to cover? Highlights? Break it all down?
Well, we'll just briefly talk about everything in order, and anything that has actual relevance, we'll talk about a little longer if we feel like, or if there's a story in there or something. But yeah, we left like Tuesday night for the background of sleep and how my emotional state and everything was. I around 12 p.m. 12 a.m., I guess. Something like that. I was at my girlfriend's house, and then she watched my dog while I was out of town, so I had to bring him over there anyway, and then hung out with her for a few hours before I had to go to your place. Around 3:30 I left, got there, and we got to the airport where our flight was at like, what, 6?
Yeah, our flight was supposed to depart at 6, I think. So yeah, we did good.
Yeah, not too bad. But I didn't sleep that night at all, so
I laid down around 9, didn't fall asleep until probably close to 10. Got up at 3. It was a short night's sleep, but I slept fine.
I was about to say that sounds like a lot to me. Then we had the plane ride, the first one. That was fine. Spent 2-hour layover in O'Hare, Chicago. That was fine, I guess. Then we flew to New York. You're going to LaGuardia, right? Looked like sort of a big turtle in a trench coat.
Yep. All the flights went off without a hitch. That was nice. You don't like flying so much, but I love flying. So
yeah, not so much. Just
I'm glad I'm glad they went well, so you weren't like in panic mode the whole time, you know.
Well, that second one's landing in New York was a little the back end of the plane was like going side to side. It felt like it was a little wish-washy, but whatever. So we get there. Stop watching porn on your phone.
My phone is mounted up here.
Then what are you doing? Are you just playing with your dick?
No, I'm looking at our bingo card and reading it.
So we get into New York. There's our bingo card. Yeah. We're going through the airport and we see somebody in a Ghostbusters sweater. And of course, we're like, wonder if we know him. And Justin's like, I think that's Charles Fincher. So then we talk to him. We end up sticking around with him. We take a bus to Harlem. And then we kind of, that was like a free bus. Or at least it was for us.
Yeah.
So we get there in Harlem, which is pretty cool. I've never been to Harlem. I've been to New York only one other time, but we didn't, it's kind of on the Upper East Side. And so we walk through Harlem for a little while. We see the Apollo Theater. That's cool. And we're looking at the map, seeing what's up. We're debating where we want to go and what we want to do. And Justin brings up Columbia University is like the closest thing to us, Ghostbusters wise. So fuck it. We head out on a journey over there.
Yeah.
And that's always fun. It's always magical being there.
Well, I like not having a plan that first kind of afternoon, like just kind of like, let's see what happens. Because like, we could have done a lot more sightseeing had we been on a strict schedule, but I feel like the first time we went out there for Afterlife, we saw a lot of things. And then this time, like, we kind of a little more relaxed with our schedule.
Yeah. We still saw the big shit. The only thing I would have liked that we didn't have time to do, but it was super close, so we still should have somehow, but was the Dana's apartment building and stuff because it was so close to everything we were at, but whatever.
Yeah.
So then we took some photos there. Charles is still with us at this point. And we did some Spider-Man videos, some Ghostbusters videos. And then sort of walked around for a little while. Decided to take an Uber to the hotel. Got checked in. Our hotel was like a couple blocks from the theater of the premiere. We could see the Lincoln Center out of our fucking window.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good spot.
Yeah, it was a great location. Like, I see why so many people chose that because you're right by the theater. You're right by tons of sites, which, like, kind of want to kick our own ass for not going to a couple of those places, but at the same time, we're hanging out with other people. And so for me, I was okay with that because, going and getting some photos of stuff we kind of already had just from a few years ago wasn't a huge priority when we had people that, like, were in town from Australia or Canada that, we're not going to run into.
Well, yeah, it's like some of these people we saw at FanFest for the first time, and some of them we saw again at the Afterlife premiere, or maybe we didn't. Some of them we never saw at FanFest, we saw at the premiere. Some of them we never fucking met, like Matt Provencal or Provencal. I don't. How do you say his name? Damn it! I hear
don't know.
it's pronounced both
Ask him.
ways. I am asking him right now
That's a-
because hopefully he's listening.
Matt, get in our DMs and tell us how to say your name so we don't sound like a bunch of idiots. Even though we probably are.
I mean, we definitely are, but yeah, that was funny. That was definitely. He posted a picture of that and said something about like half of the world's population of Alf fans.
Yeah, Alf fans.
Accurate.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah,
yeah, very accurate. I think
so. We got
Alf fans that matter anyway. At least I would say.
And then what do? We walked.
Well, we had to take a little quick
So we
power
went
nap.
and got some pizza.
Well, we went to the library, then we got some pizza, and then we hit the party.
Yeah, that's what we did. The library. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, the library. Yeah, the library is fun. So they're obviously doing some restoration on the lions and on the fountains outside. So they kind of had those blocked off. So Alec was very disappointed that he could not eat the other lion's ass. So they had both been eaten. So we had to make some simulated videos, like as close as you can get without doing it. So,
Still,
it was
one
fun.
of my biggest regrets of this trip, not being able to do that.
I mean, it was sad. It was a sad moment of like, how do we get access to do that, right? But we had fun. We got in the library. We got to see it all. Got to take it all in. Got some good pizza, and the party, man. That party was fucking epic. Like, I'm still just thinking about like all the people we saw there and hung out with, and then like the special guests. Like that place is stacked. That was a great get together. What was your highlight of that part of the trip?
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. Yeah, I
We
lost you
froze
again for a
up.
minute.
I can't hear anything right now. Okay, wait. Your videos.
Yeah, you've been frozen.
Being weird.
Yeah, you froze up. You seem to be back. And you're froze again.
Yeah, I was talking, but nothing's happening. Quality internet.
Uh-huh. And you froze again. Hey,
Man, this marking.
I just see you rubbing your eyes there. Are you back?
That was a minute ago.
Oh, okay. Do we need to reboot your phone?
Hello?
You there?
Ah, Jesus Christ.
You're going to have to edit this shit out. Your connection keeps going to hell.
You there?
Yep, I'm here.
Have you heard anything I've said?
Barely. You're cutting out really bad.
Awesome. Booger, get off the fucking cable. God. Oh, your ass. Come on, guy.
Now you're the best you've been in a while. I don't know what you did to your phone, but it seems to be
Do
better.
anything. Booger.
You slightly
Chill the fuck
turn
out.
the angle on it. All right. So we get to the party. What was your favorite part of that party?
I don't have an answer for that.
You don't have an
Shit.
answer for that. Okay.
No, sorry, I am getting a migraine now, of course. That's how this works. It was all fun. It was all my favorite.
It was all my favorite fucking scapegoat answer.
Yeah, no, I don't know, just seeing everybody. It was 3 hours of just straight mingling. Like there was no agenda or anything. There was just chilling. And we had a few drinks, but not enough to be like sloshed, just enough to socially lubricate enough to approach people that you've seen their internet picture before, but you've never talked to them in person. You're like, I know you. Isn't that weird?
I think everyone did a good job of that though, because you're like used to seeing everybody, and then going up and talking to them helped. But I think there's tons of people there that needs a little time to warm up to everybody. So, and then even Megan and Jacob were catching up with all kinds of people around there and making new friends. So I had a hell of a time at that party, and the fact that we had some cast and crew come through was pretty damn cool. I gotta tip my hat to YHS because they did a hell of a job getting that thing off the ground and making sure it was fun for everybody and making sure that everyone was comfortable just being there, being present.
Yeah.
So that party ended. I don't think there's anything too crazy to say. I mean, we're just kind of there socializing, hanging out, having fun. So after that, what did we go back to the hotel from theirs?
I don't remember. Yeah, I think so. But then that's when we went to that fucking corner store, which I'm very disappointed in thinking about how that cake tasted.
Yeah.
We ate some corner grocery store that was open 24 hours in the lobby of the hotel with Andrew Bayless and then Matt Robinson as well. And Simon,
Andrew and Simon were there first. We checked in with them for a minute. Then we went to the grocery store. The vegan cheesecake I had was pretty good. It didn't really taste like cheesecake, but it was a good treat. It was more like a mousse, but I enjoyed it. And I had some sort of vegan wrap that was pretty good. It was like faux chicken and a couple of veggies and stuff. So it was good. And then we came back, and then Matt and his wife were there, and that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
She's fucking hilarious. I had a good time with that. So, and then Matt was just an all around good dude to talk to, just kind of catching up.
Yeah, of course. That was awesome.
The only thing that could have made that better is if we had like Alf playing on a TV in the background. Like that's the only way that could have gotten any better. So,
man.
And then we finally went to bed, and it was a late night. I think we were up till damn near 3, maybe. I don't know.
Too fucking long. I was almost up fucking 48 hours at that point. That's crazy.
Aside
I guess more like 36. God damn.
Yeah, you had that tiny little power nap in there, which I think just recharged you enough to make it through.
Yeah, and then I couldn't fall asleep because I usually fall asleep with TV and shit.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just laying there in the darkness like, this is your moment to have existential dread.
Uh-oh.
Your brain is fully undistracted. Time to think about the eternal death that will come to you shortly. You're old. But, usually I have like Alf going in the background while I drift away to fairy tale land. And Alf makes me not think about these things.
He's also over 200 years old, so, easy to be a little less existential crisis mode when you're hanging out with someone that's going to be around for a few hundred years.
Yeah. So then we heard that we needed to be at the firehouse from various different sources at various different times in the next for the next morning. So we of course got up, and I thought we were going to get up a little earlier and quicker, but it didn't quite happen that way. Nobody's fault. I think we were all just corpses basically at that point. Justin's must be doing the bat with his balls right now, like he's doing the bat and the goat and shit, playing with it. Like I saw one time, I don't know if anybody wants to hear this or not, but I was watching an HBO show or something one time, or Cinemax, and it was people doing like penis art, essentially. Like they were standing naked on a stage and making shapes and doing things with their dicks. And I don't know, I was like 12 when I saw this, and I was like, holy shit, this is fucked. This is, society is doomed when I saw this. But a guy, he was like, this is called Nessie, and was like showing his, like stretching his dick, and then he pinched it in a weird way so the head bent. Like instead of just bending your head a little bit like this, it was like you're not looking.
Okay.
Are you trying to do it or something? Is that what you're doing? You're looking down, straight down. Are you trying to do what I'm talking about right now? Instead of just like bending his dick like this. Sorry, this is supposed to be Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, but this is what you get. It was like almost twisted, to bend. Okay. And then it was like, cradling the balls a little bit to like simulate the body. And it was really just reminded me of like the Nessie from Mario 64.
Okay, so it's like a pretzel twist almost.
I was just very fucked up, yeah.
Huh? And you saw that when you're 12?
Yeah, like we had HBO and Cinemax at some point, like on like the digital cable boxes, Yeah. I was like 12, like I was 12 in like 2003, so this is like advancing technology back then,
Mm-hmm.
And what did they use it for? Shit like this, Taxi Cab Confessions, the Bunny Ranch Show, and this.
Oh yeah. Wow. That's something for you.
So anyway, we got up, we went to the firehouse. It was very wholesome. There was no Loch Ness Monster penis stuff there. None of that. There were there were children around, so that was not game. No, but everybody was there. Like everybody is anybody. I mean, like most of the people from the party that were there, we saw Ghost Beacon there.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. We did a little interview with him. Check out his video and his channel on YouTube. We ran into Ghostbusters News. Jason got to talk to him. He recognized us. He knew who we were. Fancy.
Yeah.
We're moving on up
through the east side.
Yeah, we got a picture of us with him and Jim from Extraplasm.
Yep.
That was a cool event. We had some Ghostbusters icy bins. The icy representative had icy posters, but refused to give me one, and I'm still holding a grudge, and I will for the rest of my life because I'm petty. But he had like a stack of posters, a huge, like thick stack, and they're just standing there. And I'm like, I walk up and I'm like, what do you have to do to get one of these posters? And he was like, oh, we're not giving them out. I need more for later. And I'm like, what do you mean you need them for later? And he's like, oh, it's for the premiere later. And I was like, all right, like cool, like I guess. But like, why are you holding him out here? Damn it!
I thought of it.
But that's just me. Listen, I'm. This is very. What's the word? I'm being facetious. I'm fucking around. I wanted one of those posters, but like, it just seemed a little goofy to me to be holding shit that you weren't going to be handing out to people, or in some fashion, like even selling. I don't have bought one. I don't care. But
yeah, that's true.
I'm not saying that. I realize that saying that, like complaining about not getting a icy poster is insane. So, but I had an icy for free, and Cheetos people were there. We got some Cheetos.
Mm-hmm.
That was sick.
Yep. Which I won't be eating mine. You won't be eating yours, but they're going to be in the collection. So,
yep.
Maybe in about 25 years, you can do an influencer video and open it up and eat them. See how they are.
25 years later, yeah, just like Twin Peaks. The
Mhm.
Black Lodge opens up again, and I eat some ghost pepper Cheetos. What the fuck are they? I don't know.
Smoky ghost pepper puffs. Flamin' hot. So
Sounds good.
I don't know. You don't like spicy food, so I don't think you'd like them.
No. I do like regular Cheetos though.
Yeah.
So where are we at here? Oh, we're at the firehouse still. Talk
Mhm.
about some
Yeah.
shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, the firehouse is awesome. I mean, we ran into pretty much everybody down there. YHS is down there as well again. So many people from the party, other people we hadn't seen yet. That's where we ran into Aiden, the diabetic Ghostbuster, came up, said hi. So, and then we finished. Well, we had some of our goodie bags left, so I think he got one, and we were trying to give him out. Finally, gave the rest out by the premiere that night. But the firehouse is cool. They had fire safety event going on. They gave out these little postcards. Basically, on the front side is a little poster of the mini puffed. On the back side is like fire safety tips as far as fire escapes. Because fire escapes are a thing in New York. Smoke detector, carbon monoxide things, ice storm awareness, hypothermia and frostbite. So kind of plays into the whole theme of Frozen Empire.
Yeah. The coolest part there, I think, was seeing the screen used Ecto Z.
Yep.
And the rack in there with the proton packs.
Mm-hmm.
That was just awesome.
Yeah, the Ecto Z was really cool to see. Obviously, Ecto 1 New Jersey was there as well, which is, at this point, aside from the rear of the inside of the vehicle, the outside and the roof rack are more accurate to Ghostbusters 1 than the one on the Sony lot at this point.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So,
well, that's what I heard.
Yeah, it was cool to see Kip there show off his work. I'd seen him do the behind the scenes videos with the screen printing of the logos on the car. To see those on the car in person was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Just to see the accuracy of those and see how they looked. And obviously, Ectotech was there hanging out, kind of working. But man, that Mercedes is cool.
For sure. So we left that event. We knew that there were some celebrities going to be showing up, but we figured we had the red carpet fan pen access, so we would kind of just leave and let other people do that. We went to see some Frozen Empire filming sites, at least from the trailers, because I don't recall seeing some of those shots in the movies, but they were in the trailer.
Well, one of the key places was in there, so we don't have to get into that just yet. But
they're not. Well, yeah, one of them, but it's not like me saying that as a big spoiler or anything, because the shots I'm talking about are irrelevant trailer shots of like not even characters,
Yeah.
So extras.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because we're not reviewing the movie tonight on this one. So this is just talking about our trip.
Yeah, for sure. Had some good vegan food there for lunch too. And
yeah, that was a sick, like, it was like a vegan chicken patty with like an agave mustard and pineapple and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Pretty solid, gotta say.
Yeah, so after we saw those film sites, we huffed it back to the hotel via Subway, hit a Target to get some snacks and do some preps, and then basically went in. Didn't chill out for a long time, but just enough to kind of get ready to go to the premiere.
Yeah.
Which we got there early. Like, the thing said for us to be there at 5. We got there, 4:30 or so?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. And then, like, the line was already crazy. Line was frustrating just because, like, it didn't seem like the information was all communicated out. Like, really, in the grand scheme of things, I wasn't too worried about it because we'd been through that kind of same experience before with Afterlife. But just for being in the fan pen, that's what I was most stressed about, was getting in there in time.
Yeah,
And it all worked out. Like once they got us up there, we were in good shape. So
for sure. Let's see. Yeah, we were right by John Yerkeba in line and a few other people, so we had some people to chat with. That was nice.
mhm.
We got into the fan pen and ended up next to Jason Grohowski and Dan Harshman. So again, fine company to be around and chat with and
Yeah.
do some ghost busting shit with.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, Jason was nice because he was just out there giving us tips on, here's, just like little stuff there for video stuff. And like we do a lot of our own content creation, but to have a professional that does that for a living, like just throws 2 cents in, was like, oh yeah, I appreciate that. That was valuable. And then he's just a good conversation to have anyway. And then Dan was there too, having a good conversation with us. And there's another fellow behind us too. I don't think I caught his name, but he had the YHS live stream on. So that was handy. So we kind of knew who was kind of coming through or who was going to be kind of working their way through the red carpet line.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about the autographs if you want here. You got yours behind you there.
Yep.
First up, I know the entire order of these, but James A. Caster, I know, came in first, at least that we got. I think
Yep.
was Patton Oswalt before him, but
Patton came in ahead of him, but only did a few autographs. So
yeah. James A. Caster was nice though. Cool to briefly chat with him while he signed a few of our things, and then we had Logan Kin come in. That was cool. Of course, who else came? I don't fucking know who came in next. But either way, Eric Wright came by. We got him to sign. It's always cool chatting with that guy. Carrie Coon, which was one of the ones I really wanted to get. Amazing. We love her.
Yeah.
Gil Keenan, of course.
Yeah.
He's not a newcomer. He's a little more of the face this time around, though. But we'd love to see him around. Jason Reitman again. That's the second Jason autograph I've got. Same for you, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see. Emily Allen Lind, which was great. I really wanted hers too.
Yeah,
And
she was
Paul
awesome.
Rudd, of course.
Paul Rudd was a bucket list one for me. I've been like wanting that for a while just because he's a hometown hero for me. Like it's
it's one
hard
of those
not to
things.
admire that guy.
Yeah, like, are we gonna get Paul Rudd? Is Paul Rudd gonna sign much or anything? But he did. He kind of came through the whole pin and signed for a decent amount for people, like more than at least half the other people he signed probably.
Yeah, he did a good job. The only person that I know signed for everybody was James Acaster, but he was in early enough that like he took the time to go around to everybody. So like high fives all around to him for doing that, because that was a lot. Like that fan pen, like I don't know how many people were in there, but I would imagine it was 40 to 50 people, somewhere around there.
I would say 50 to 70, somewhere in there, because there was two little sections there, and it's like one of those things where the teacher has you count a thing of jelly beans. You're always guessing like half as many that are actually in there.
Yeah,
then Ray Parker Jr., of course, was the last one I think that we didn't mention.
Yeah, Ray Parker Jr. That was a good one. Yeah, that was awesome to see him in person. Like we'd seen him perform before, and he was playing, so like we didn't have any autograph opportunities that time at FanFest.
Yeah. So that's solid.
Yeah, the autographs are awesome, man. Like the fact that anyone took the time out of that on the way to the premiere, right? That's not a guarantee, right? That's just pure luck. So I felt pretty damn good about it. And we got to see Bill come through and be Bill. That was fun.
And then we head upstairs, went through concessions. You bought yourself that ghost trap. I got myself that mini puff cup. I got the Boo Raspberry flavor of the icy. You got the, what was it called? The
Mischievous Mini Puffs, I think is the flavor, what they called it. Yeah, that was good. I'm looking forward to having one of those again.
The white one? Yeah, I'll probably try that one this time, or maybe I don't know. I'll try a different one. But then we got some popcorn and, head into the movie theater. And I felt like I don't know how to describe it. You ever see like it's something I'm picturing in my head. It's from a movie or a TV show, or maybe it's like a trope. But people like sitting down at an event with like their popcorn and their soda and shit, and just being like overly hyped and stoked, and you just have like an arm full of souvenirs, and you're just like, holy shit, what do I do with all this shit? I want to get, just let me chill and watch this movie, but you're concerned with all that shit you're holding, and you're like, yeah. It's like a panicking moment.
I legit had to piss the whole fucking movie.
Oh.
And like, I just wasn't going to fuck with it. I was like, it wasn't bad at first, but by the end of it, I was like, Jesus Christ. That's why I wanted to go back to the hotel so bad, because even the lines out of the bathrooms after the movie were insane. And so I was just uncomfortable the whole time. And like every sip of that icy, I was like, I'm going to regret this. You're going to regret this, Ray.
You really need to get that pee hose functioning, buddy.
Yeah. So you know what that walking into that theater reminded me of? Fucking the movie theater in Gremlins. Like, it was like not pandemonium, but it was like pure, like the energy was palpable in the room. Like everyone was so fucking excited. And like people were just sitting anywhere and everywhere. Like we just had to find seats opposite where our actual seats were, but that didn't matter. Like we sat by people we knew that way. And I was very happy with that.
I was just concerned that somebody was going to come up and be like, those are our seats. And I'd be like, well, somebody's in our seats. Come on. Like, let's just fucking sit down somewhere, please.
At this point, just sit down where there's an open seat, which I think
I'll sit on the floor if I have to. God damn it. Just shut up. I'm trying to watch this.
Then we got the intro by Jason and Gil, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then obviously we watched the movie, which fucking epic. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Obviously the movie finishes up, everyone kind of does the round of applause and like is in that surreal state of like, we just saw this movie.
Well, that's what I'm gumming. I'm looking around and I'm like, I wonder what people are thinking right now. And I was already hearing people saying different opinions, like, you know, oh, this is like, I was hearing people say that it's not as good as Afterlife in certain ways that I won't phrase it the way they did because it could hint at things, but like, you know,
yeah,
I don't know. In short, because we're not going to review the whole thing right now, I will just say it's fantastic. Go see it.
Yeah. My advice is see it on the biggest screen possible. So if you have the 4XD screen or whatever the hell that is, see it there. If you have the IMAX screen, see it there. As close to center as possible. Like, and just fucking take it all in. Be in a good state of mind. I know you're like thinking something dirty there. That's why I said it that way.
Of course.
I was seeing if you could resist yourself.
I did. I just laughed at it because, you know, come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was awesome. And then so many of the cast and crew were just hanging out in the lobby afterwards, right? Available for photos again, talking and chatting and stuff. And I think that was really cool because a ton of those people didn't get that kind of access to anybody in the fan pen or some of those other opportunities. So the fact that anyone was hanging out after the fact still I thought was a real nice touch.
Yeah.
Like it felt very genuine. Everyone seemed to be pretty happy to be there. All in, man. There's not much I would change, right? I don't know if I'd change anything, honestly, about our experience besides maybe trying to take a piss real quick before I went in. But
they were talking. People were, you know, taking pictures with Gil and stuff, and I just went up to him and was like, "Hey, I really loved that. That was awesome." And then he was walking away, but he high-fived me, so that was cool.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you and I did a pretty good job of that. Like, not to like toot our own horns, but we had plenty. Yeah, so we I don't think we were greedy with like our time with everybody, right? I think we were very kind and considerate and letting everyone else try to get as much time in with others as they could. Because you know what it's like to be there in those moments. Like I didn't try to hog the time afterwards and like, hey, let me try to go get more photos. I was like, you know, there's plenty of people that weren't in the fan pen, so like let's just do our thing. And I had a pee so bad I could fucking.
The only like person like that I think we even grabbed like an actual selfie or anything with was McKenna Grace at the party, and that's just because at the end there she was kind of just walking around doing that for a minute there, and there was a lull, So I was like, I was like, yeah, no, sure.
Yeah. Well,
But
the fact that
I
she
didn't
was
have to
comfortable
force
with
it in there or anything. I wasn't waiting for it open to be like, yeah, it wasn't one of those kind of situations. I was just, it was like complete chill vibes. I think that's the only selfie we got with anybody like that, though. But
between her and Logan Kim were both very available for that at the party. I thought that was very cool. They're also of that generation, though, so they kind of understand that a little bit better than others. So, like had they not been interested in doing that, I don't think as many people would have. But since they seemed okay with it, it was like, okay, if they're good with that, and it's not imposing, that's cool.
Right.
So I think that was really it. Just kind of reading the room, right? Knowing how to read the room, check the vibes, see how everyone's doing. And then we caught up with a big group of people afterwards, and we went for a late night walk to get some pizza, and then through Times Square. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was sick. Just getting to spend some time with people we don't normally spend time with.
Mm-hmm.
Went to one of their favorite pizza places, so that was dope. And yeah, then we got to walk through Times Square, which we kind of had been briefly through, but we didn't spend a lot of time on.
Well, yeah, we'd kind of passed some of the corners of it, but we didn't really walk the strip of it. So this time we did, and got to enjoy all that. So, and it was not crowded because it was basically the middle of the fucking night at that point.
Yeah. And then I flew back with 2 roaches on me.
Oh yeah.
Literally, one was in my bag and one was in my pocket. Just tiny little bit of weed because I bought it in New York City. Just some pre-rolls just so I could smoke. It helps with my anxiety and everything. And also, I just don't like reality.
That's fair.
But I don't know. It made things quite fun.
Yeah. No, I had a hell of a time, man. Very few things I would do different on the entire trip, right? There's a few more sites I would have liked to have seen, but knowing what we know now, I'm very happy with how it all turned out. But the fact that our flight got delayed 2 hours on our way down there, we could have easily seen all those sites by the hotel in under an hour and seen all those, but hindsight's 2020, so whatever. But the worst part of the trip for me was sitting at JFK Airport because it was fucking hot. It was somewhat crowded, more so than the other airports we'd sat in. The seating was kind of limited, so but that was the only time I wasn't enjoying myself. Once we got on the plane, I was good to go.
I had the worst time ever on that plane ride because I think that's when I was getting sick. I must have had a fever.
Oh.
I was just violently shivering the whole fucking plane ride, having the worst time of my life. I turned on Groundhog Day on the airplane TV without audio because I didn't have headphones that could plug in there, and just turned the subtitles on. But that's one of those movies I've seen so many times so I can hear it in my head.
No, it wasn't just, the airplane was cold. And at first it felt really, really good considering how hot JFK Airport was. But I had my red parka and I was literally trying to sleep on the flight because I was just beat, man. I was beat. And I just kept waking up because I was too cold. And I had the jacket on over me. I didn't feel like sitting up and putting it on and zipping myself up in it, which had I done that, I probably would have slept a little bit better. But yeah, it was a rough flight. As far as being cold goes.
And there's nothing that pisses me off more than when you land an airplane and you're waiting to get off and people step into the hall, the aisle, and they get their shit down, but you're in the window seat and you're like, all right, could I get my shit down? And they just don't move and they're fucking too self-absorbed to pay attention to their surroundings. And I just want to start fighting people. I don't, but I want to. And then the old lady in the seat behind you gets out and starts literally just inching up and up and up like she's going to get off the plane before you. And you're like, fuck you, bitch. Sit your ass down. I'll knock your ass right back into that seat, Grandma. Well, and of course, you don't do that. But I forced my way in front of her old ass for sure. Well, she wasn't that old either. I'm being an asshole when I call her old. She was maybe in her 50s.
Yeah, but that's airplane etiquette, though, right? You let people off row by row, and so no one should get ahead of somebody else. I feel that though, because the people that want the space the most are like the people that can't stand up fully, like underneath the bins by the window. So
Yeah. I hate it's so compact in a plane. I'm too tall for them in general. It's just a bad experience.
yeah. Overall, how are you feeling like when you got home and you had time to settle down? Like, how did you feel about the trip?
Like depressed to be back among peasants, including myself.
Yeah.
Depressed to be
Okay.
back as a peasant.
That's fair.
Stoked to see the movie again, though. I'm like, that's what's keeping me going this week, because I just want to see it again now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Obviously, I missed the wife and the baby, so like I was excited to be home and see them, and obviously the dogs too. Like to me, like that was the thing. It was like I was real sad that the trip had ended, but the fact that I came home to the wife and the kid, like had they come along on the trip, like we kind of debated that and it just didn't work out. Had they done that, I probably really would have had a funk, but I had something to look forward to when I got home, so that really helped
Well, it's
bounce
like,
me
just
back to a good
imagine,
spot.
yeah, like we would have had to set Liz and the baby up in the fucking hotel when we're like walking through fucking Harlem and shit through the Columbia University. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
wouldn't have been good for them, just because like you're walking alone kind of sucks in general. But then if you're like holding a baby during that, I can't imagine that being fucking fun either. Be like wearing a goddamn proton pack around.
Yeah. No, I mean, it all worked out for, I don't want to say the best, but it worked out. So no one was driven crazy by anything, because that would have been hard on Liz to do all that. You know, I mean, obviously I would have helped as much as I could have, but you just never know how that's would have gone. But it really helped me having something to look forward to come home, because I didn't go into a funk or a depression. Like when we got back from the afterlife trip, I was like, reality is depressing.
Yeah.
And so like the fact that I had something to come home to was really nice. And then if you haven't already heard, I joined the Crossrip for their episode this week, just to kind of talk about the trip. If you want to hear about it like in a PG family friendly kind of way, you can hear it on there. Like
Yeah, if you want to hear this same podcast but without me, but instead you get Troy Benjamin and Chris Stewart, who are not going to talk about Loch Ness monster cocks. Essentially.
Yeah, you're not going to hear about dick art with them. So
but Justin, it's pretty much the same story, but with more dicks over here, and more wholesome over there, more like actual wholesome conversations.
Yeah,
but it was I listened to it this afternoon as well. It's a good listen. You should still listen to it, because Troy and Chris are very wise.
well, for me to get on their show, like, you know, I've known Troy since the 90s. Like, you know, we started talking on AOL back in the day around the time Extreme Ghostbusters was out, and Ghostbusters 3 was like rumored on there with Chris Farley and
Did you
everything.
get it? You must have got a transcript of the podcast earlier, because you brought this up on that one too. You trying to hit all the same points?
No, just in case you don't listen to it, but you know, just kind of like that. It had been on my list to like be on their podcast as a guest, so I was really pleased to do that. You know, I mean, we've had them on our show, but like getting onto a show that like I admire as, you know, that's an accomplishment. The way I felt about it, so I was very pleased to be there.
Yeah.
Really excited to hear like what Yes Have Some had to say. As we record this, they were kind of doing the Ghostbusters Radio Live, so I'll have to tune into that tomorrow, and then just check in with everybody else. You know, like there's going to be so much content coming over the next couple of weeks. But
well, yeah, we got so much to edit. I started downloading stuff, and it's just insane.
Yeah, like the amount of stuff I put on our Google Drive was just like, holy hell.
Well,
like
yeah,
some of that took a while to get uploaded. Like, but yeah, we did good.
So there's probably going to be at least, I don't know, we're going to do this podcast, and then we're going to do another one, a review of the movie that's going to come out probably the 20th. And then, but that's going to be like a not super spoiler review. I don't know. We haven't really decided yet, because we're probably going to wait to do a full like 2-hour spoiler deep dive like next week after we see it again. But in terms of our coverage of videos, we're going to probably do a video on like the Firehouse event, and then we'll probably have a video on the premiere itself. I don't know how we'll break that down yet, to be honest.
Yeah, just
But
as
I gotta
think about
search
it.
through that footage. There'll probably
Yeah,
be like a red carpet premiere video, you know, and then
there might be a brief party video just kind of showing some highlights. Some highlights from the obviously the red carpet. We'll try to get the whole thing up there because you did a TikTok live stream of that, and then I recorded the whole thing. And
yeah,
basically in 2 segments. Like when we didn't have people coming through, I wasn't recording because like, you know, I didn't feel like it was necessary to have our conversations with our friends nearby, like recorded. Like that's not how that conversation was going, right? It was just like a be in the moment type of thing.
everything we talked about was on TikTok live. Everything we said, so
Well, that's
including
true.
me telling like people who are commenting like I'd rather be like at the DMV than a Ghostbusters premiere. Like, why? That sounds like you're a dumbass. Like,
Yeah, you're like, yeah,
all
you're
right,
here.
like
You took
that's
the
just
time
TikTok
out.
though. Like people just pissed for no reason. Like literally, like they'll find like there's nothing to complain about there, guy. Like, holy shit.
Yeah,
Go
like
tell your therapist that you're mad about this TikTok, not me. Shit.
yeah, you clicked on this live stream and then now you're gonna critique it. Like, here we are, buddy.
Yeah. So, but we had over 1,000 viewers on that TikTok for a while. So,
yeah, no, that was pretty cool. Glad we did that. And then, like I said, the company we had around us is good. So between everything there, we've got a ton of content. Like, try not to put it all out. And then the one thing that, like, I thought we didn't put out a ton of content while we were there, but I was just trying to enjoy the moment. Like, I didn't want to be too
yeah.
much into like, let me take 30 minutes away from what we're doing to like try to figure this out or try to edit this on the go. Like, it was just get a few things out there, let people know we're there, but really just be there. And I think to me, that took a lot of the stress away of the trip for me, was just living in the moment. And so I had a lot more fun that way. And I'll have a lot more fun looking back at this stuff now instead of trying to look at it immediately after I took a video or took a photo and stuff. Like it'll be a good time.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I mean, lots of shout outs there. So if we didn't mention you in the shout outs earlier on, we really appreciate you there. It was great to talk to everyone we ran into. Like, I didn't have a bad interaction with the person out there. Like, everyone that we talked to, like, was a good person. Like, I was so thrilled for everything being like low stress. Like, it was great to be around good people.
Yeah. There was one one or two people in particular I think of that we didn't see
Oh, yeah.
that I won't even mention because I'm stoked that we didn't see them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But that has been the show tonight. Thanks for listening to Well, That's What I Heard from Strange Glow Video. We'll have another episode out this week talking about the movie itself, so look for that. And subscribe to our YouTube because we have plenty of actual video coverage of this event coming soon as well.
Yep. We sure do.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Your mother! Your mother! Your mother! Your